This training segment will discuss what it's like being involved with Project Safe. And we have our community involvement volunteer coordinator, Kendall Warman, here to give us a little bit more information about that. So, Kendall, can you tell us a little bit about what your position entails?
Yes, so my name is Kendall Warman, and I'm the Community Involvement Volunteer Coordinator here at Project Safe. So, what I do day to day is I manage and recruit all of our volunteers and interns. I'm the liaison for our community partners. I do some marketing and social media type of things, help with event planning, and just talk to people about Project Safe and what we do so that the community at large, in whatever capacity people are wanting to be involved, they can understand more about what Project Safe does and why.
Okay. And how does your work connect with the organization day to day?
I think my role is positioned in a really unique way because instead of working directly with clients as our advocates do, I'm talking to people who may have no idea about what all Project Safe does, and it's really important to me to make sure that people have a really well rounded understanding of our services and what we do. And so I think connecting people with the why of our organization is something that I really center in all of my work. I learned in a class in graduate school about this thing called the Golden Circle and how people want to know, they know what you do, but they don't know why you do it. And so I go into every interview, into every meeting, into every presentation, knowing that I want to convey why Project Safe works to end domestic violence and what that entails. And so I think that is really embedded in every piece of my work.
So, you mentioned just now about the why behind the work. So, tell me, can you tell us a little bit about your overall goal when thinking about how you approach or how you want to approach your work?
I think I approach every day, and I think it's good as new staff members, as new interns, as a new volunteer coming into any of our spaces at Project Safe with an open mind and understanding that domestic violence is very unpredictable. It's very ever changing, and so I go into my work every day knowing that I'm here to advocate for survivors, and in my work, that looks like telling people about the organization and telling people who may be survivors themselves that we do exist and that services do exist for people who are experiencing intimate partner violence. And so I think that going into my work every day with an open mind and just having passion to do what I do really helps me in having a purpose in my work.
So, what is it like working at Project Safe?
I think every day is really different, and I think that coming in again as in any type of role, as a staff person, as an intern, as a volunteer, coming into your work and into your space, knowing that you're not going to be able to stick to a strict schedule, it's likely, and that's kind of just the nature of crisis work. And even in my role as a volunteer coordinator and a community involvement coordinator, I'm not working with clients every day, but even in my job, things change. And that's something that I used to really not like. I'm just a very type A person, but I've learned to love change. And so coming into an environment like this with an open mind and a passion to work and really just be here for the mission is something that I think is crucial.
Okay. What impact do interns and volunteers have with Project Safe?
I think interns and volunteers have a huge and very unique role in the heart of a nonprofit. I think that someone who is working with Project Safe and is not a staff person is there because they're passionate about the work. Not to say that staff aren't passionate, obviously, but there's something really unique about wanting to provide your services and what you can bring to the table to a nonprofit and its mission. And I think our interns and our volunteers are, interacting with our clients in some of the most intimate ways. I mean, whether it's from being a childcare volunteer to a thrift store volunteer, making sure that the store has the help that it needs, to cutting the grass, to doing intakes, all of those things, play a huge role in the larger puzzle. And I think that we should always highlight the importance of those really intimate moments and even the moments that have nothing to do with direct service, because those moments are also just as impactful to make sure that our organization Project Safe can really thrive, and in turn our clients can thrive.
And what are some of the responsibilities interns and volunteers are given?
So I think it varies depending. We have so many different opportunities for volunteers, and our internships are very involved. So I think there can be, a lot to that. But for interns, direct service interns specifically, get a very well-rounded internship, in my opinion. All direct service interns work at all three of our sites. So our shelter, our outreach offices, and our thrift store. And so our interns are really just like staff. We incorporate them into our daily schedules just as staff. They're doing, they're having those really personal calls on the hotline, and they might be the person who is speaking to a survivor who's never shared their experience before, and doing those intakes where a survivor is really having to be really vulnerable. And I think that those things in itself kind of show how special and well-rounded the internship really is. And I think volunteering goes in the same vein, providing childcare and working with a client to help them in whatever way that looks like, to help them continue to move on in their healing journey, again, is very impactful. And every opportunity and every interaction looks different, and I think that's something that's really it can be nerve-wracking, but it's really exciting and super important.
And what advice would you give to new staff, interns, or volunteer?
So for all of those people, I would just say come into this space with all of your passion and all of your drive to serve survivors, because no matter what role each of us plays in this larger puzzle, that's why we're here. And so remembering that and all that you do and coming into work every day with that mindset, with that why, and then again, coming in with an open mind and knowing that every day is going to be a little bit different. And that's just kind of how it goes here, and it's really exciting. And again, being passionate to me is one of the most important things you can have in any kind of work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Kendall.